President at Earth Care Initiative. Um, yes, Regan is a passionate social worker, environmentalist, leader, and discipleship mentor, committed to serving people and creating positive change in communities. He currently serves as president of Earth Care Initiative, where he leads initiatives focused on environmental conservation, community empowerment, and sustainable development. Over the years, he has worked with individuals, youth, women, and communities to address social challenges, promote environmental awareness, and foster the responsible stewardship of natural resources. He firmly believes that lasting transformation begins when people are empowered with knowledge, practical skills, and opportunities to improve their lives and their environment. His vision is to contribute to a society where people live with dignity, care for the environment, and positively impact future generations. So thank you so much for being here today and sharing your knowledge with us. And yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you once again for the warm welcome and the introduction. It is really exciting, and I love the fact that I am presenting to you today. As Madam Kiki said, introduced me earlier on, I'm Kitimbo Reagan, and I am the president of Earth Care Initiative. We are based in Uganda, the Eastern region, mostly known as the Busoga region. Yeah, we do quite a lot of things, but the biggest of all is environmental stewardship or environmental conservation, where we do so many other things. But this afternoon, I'm going to present about environmental education or environmental stewardship, where we are going to learn a lot of things, or where we are going to find out a lot of things. And I would love to start with a question that asks what environment is. What is environment? What is environmental education actually? So over the years, we have had, so as we grow up in my locality, where we have studied so many things. We have been taught so many things, ranging from sex education to patriotism and so many other things. But among the many things we have learned, me and my other colleagues, we have realized that they have not tackled the environmental question properly as they ought to do. So leaving a big gap in the growing population. So it is very common for our people, for our youths to grow with all the other things, but leaving out that one element of environmental education. They don't completely know the importance of having this green space, this conducive environment. For them, they think it is actually more of it is supposed to be more of good health, knowing, loving your country, and so many other things, but they don't really know what it means. So in my definition of environmental education, I defined it as the process that equips individuals individuals and communities with the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes needed to understand environmental challenges and take responsible actions towards protecting it. So in this statement, as I understand it, it is simply giving us the knowledge or equipping us with the skills that can enable us understand the value of having something green, having a conducive environment, having a cool place to relax, having and even protecting it for the future people or the future generations that are coming after us. Because, for example, we are living today, but we don't know when we shall we shall say bye bye to this planet, and we are giving birth to offsprings, we are giving birth to children, we are nurturing children, but we don't know how they are going to live. So as we carry on the activity of educating them in the other things, the other spheres of life, we should as well introduce to them this aspect of environmental stewardship. And then furthermore, I wrote and said environmental education promotes informed decision making and encourages sustainable lifestyles that support both people and nature. Here, I meant how to coexist. How do I exist and I'm not inconveniencing nature? How is nature existing and it is not inconveniencing me? Actually, nature doesn't need us. Yes, that it is something we should be mindful of. Nature doesn't need us. We need it, because without us, it can still flourish. But with us, it gets destroyed, because we have so many demands. We want to build, we want to get land for agriculture, we want to we want to we want to do so many things, and then we end up destroying everything. So this education, environmental education, is supposed to teach us. It teaches us how to coexist, how to live, how to stay together, how to stay connected, how beneficial is it to us, and how is it how do we benefit from it. So it is a two-way traffic, and but as it is a two-way traffic, sorry, but we benefit from it more than it benefiting from us. So I wrote something small down here, and I don't know if you would love to hear it. So it says people do things because they do things not because they want so much to do them, but because factors that they are factors that they are factors that push them into doing these things. For example, human being as the population is growing, human beings are being forced to encroach in the swamp, because there is limited land area for settlement, and others are doing it because they don't want to go very far from urban centers. So it is our role as educators to actually teach these people that if people have encroached up to the limit, the swamp areas, it is wisdom to skip and go where it is not swampy. So furthermore, I got another. I wrote down another question. My presentation was the question answer system, and it goes, why environmental education matters. Why does it matter? Why do we have to teach? Why do you have to teach people about the need care for the environment? Environment. The world is facing serious environmental challenges, including climate change, deforestation, wetland degradation, plastic pollution, and so many others, as I listed them down below. But these things are not coming are not coming deliberately. Which word can I use there? Which word can I use there? Okay, these things are coming as a result of the growing population, and the right word to use there is ignorance, but it sounds sharp. So I will use the word knowing, being less informed. Yeah, because as as the population is growing, more people are growing more desperate to provide for their families, and they're thinking less about the impact they leave behind as they are providing for their families. For example, uh, in terms of settlement, people go and encroach on the forest to create for their families settlement, but the impact, or the results of encroaching on a forest is actually deforestation. You cut down the trees and you build a house. But then after building the house, you should have something at the back of your mind, that when you leave, your offsprings, how will they survive? How will they survive in an environment without trees, in an environment with limited oxygen and too much pollution from the plastics? We buy single use polythene bags. We should put it in the back of our minds that after using this, after satisfying my pleasures, what next? What is coming? What is actually coming out of the plastic, the environmental plastic, the plastic cavera that I've used. We call it cavera in our local language. The polythene bag, we call it cavera in our language. So furthermore, I put down an abstract or something to give you a bigger perspective of what I'm saying, and it goes. Kiki, can you please scroll down a bit? Continue on the next slide 3, that says abstract.
I think abstract was slide 3, Katja.
Yeah, there.
There? Okay.
On slide 3, that's where it says abstract there. So yeah, I tried to briefly explain to you what the whole thing. So even if I present up to slide 4, it will be enough for us to continue. So it says environmental education is a vital tool to promoting sustainability and environmental stewardship. It empowers individuals with knowledge and skills necessary to understand the relationship between human activities and natural ecosystems. As environmental challenges continue to increase globally, environmental education encourages responsible behavior, conservation practices, and community participation. It supports both formal and informal learning systems, helping people to make informed decisions that protect natural resources, and improve quality of life. So why do we need why is it necessary to go on teaching environmental stewardship or environmental education? It is actually good because it puts a line between us and nature, one, and then it also creates a relationship between us and the natural ecosystem. Why am I saying so? As our race is evolving, as we are growing, as we are giving back to other people, we should still carry on the good message of, one, protecting natural forests, two, planting more trees, three, protecting swamps and all other drainage systems, and of course, on top of it all, also manage, and we cannot stop at this point, but we can still manage and recycle the single-use plastics to make maybe to continue the process, so that just in case when we are not here, our next generations can still live. And then maybe to give you another view of why we should continue with environmental education is the fact that we need to we are failing, us as the adults. We are failing to do so many other things because it was not built in us that it was not built in us that we should care for this, we should sorry. So this is how I intend to bring it out. As we're growing up in my locality, they told us so many other things, but the act of caring for the environment was something that was dealt with at a small scale. So I believe that if we come out and try to bring it to increase the scale at which people are knowing how to protect the environment, as in bring up a new generation that is environmental conscious, it may somehow reduce on the speed at which the environment is being degraded. For example, if everyone knows how bad plastic can be, then it would slightly trigger something inside. It will slightly reduce on the rate at which we use the plastics. If everyone knows how important a tree is, it would trigger. But then the other communities you go to, for example, I'll give an example of my locality. The other communities you go to, when adult people are the ones leading massive cut down of trees in pursuit of charcoal. And it is still in my locality, it is where you find children minding about all other things and leaving out the most important. For example, as we were growing up in this area where I showed some of you, they taught us so many things, and I love my father for one thing. He taught us that as you're growing up, your siblings are your siblings are your responsibility. You have to make sure they are doing well at all costs. So it meant in case of anything, I should stand in as an adult and protect them from any sort of danger that can endanger them. So but my dad left out something small after me caring for my brothers, my siblings, showing them how to ride a bicycle, maybe teaching them how to ride, maybe if that was my responsibility, teaching them how to bathe, doing this, doing that. After, how will they live? How will they survive in an environment where plastic, where food is bought in a polythene bag that is contaminated, maybe, where we don't have safe water for drinking, where we have to feed on chemically manufactured food. So I think it would have made more sense if he started with that point of teaching me how to grow a tree, how to grow food, organic food, like as in how to grow fruits, for example, where I'm seated, how to care for the environment. It would make sense that even as my siblings are growing up, they have space, they have enough space, they have good health, they have space to grow, they have all varieties of fruits to grow, to eat and be healthy. But it was unfortunate that maybe some of our parents never took the initiative to teach us this thing, and it is the reason as to why most of the growing generation already don't have any clue of how important a mango tree can be. They just the only importance they know is when it grows up, they cut it down and burn charcoal, and then sell and get money. They don't know how a swamp can be of importance to the community. They don't know how organic food is important to the community. It is we are now jumping onto the track of of purchasing manufactured food at the expense of growing our own local food. Local food, the one from the garden. So this is one of the approaches Earthcare is basing on to teach the communities. And but before I go to the down to the approach, we also came up with a few objectives of environmental education. And if you don't mind, Kiki, if you don't mind, you can as well see them below. Yeah, I can as well read them for you just in case. Actually, I'm going to read just a few of them. And one of the objectives of the environmental education can be increase of environmental awareness. So whenever we go to schools, and talk to these children, we continuously feed them the information of how important a swamp can be, how important a mango tree can be, how important how good is it to use locally planted materials to feed? How good is it to use a polythene, a paper bag instead of a polythene bag? How we feed them with this information so that we increase on the awareness that in the near future it may be worse if we continue with the same system. We don't only teach the young children, but also the communities, the elderly people in the communities. We go teach them the importance of having this tree there, and not cutting them down. We even bring them new skills of acquiring charcoal. Instead of cutting down a tree, you can use garbage and manufacture biogas, and save a tree, use biogas. So we go into communities and create such awareness. Two, we promote environmental education promotes sustainable resource management. I know you understand it when I say sustainable resource management. It is it typically deals with how we save from what we use, the rate at which we save if we use locally manufactured things at the expense of the industrial manufactured stuff. Furthermore, we have more objectives as you see them, but because of time, I don't think we should go through all this when we have it there. I know we are all seeing them. And then we have our approach, healthcare approach. And Kiki, can you take us to the approach? Yes. What I explained earlier of bringing up a generation where children, where people, I will not specify the children, but where people are environmentally conscious is the main approach that we are using in healthcare. But to add on them, we listed some other few approaches that we have adopted as an organization, and one of them is community awareness campaigns. We do campaigns, we mobilize people, talk to them, teach them about all these things that I'm talking about. We have so far started like 72 environmental clubs in schools, where we continuously feed these children with these students with environmental information, and with the help of Embrace the Earth. We even now access we have access to materials like brochures that we are pushing into the communities, giving out and teaching children of different ages the environment. And then we even have this other one of practically planting trees. This one was introduced to us by a friend of by our one of our agronomists. He emphasized that we should plant more trees, because after community awarenesses and campaigns, what next? They may fail to plant trees. So we even bring tree seedlings, and also have trainings of agroforestry. We have started nursery beds in different parts of eastern region, and so far we have like 120. Yes, I think, yeah, 120 uh, nursery beds that can give out tree seedlings all over the region. And of course, we are adopting plastic recycling initiatives, though they are still so too expensive. We can't afford to put so many, but we are doing we are thinking of a phrase that says act local. Sorry, think global and act local. So as you see the problem globally, but you have to tackle it at a local level, where we cannot stop the manufacturing factories, the plastic manufacturing factories, but we can still put the plastics into a system that recycle them, reuse them, so that we avoid pollution. And so many others, as I listed them below: wetland and upland restoration programs, environmental workshops and seminars, youth empowerment and leadership trainings. These ones we have done so many. And we are still doing so many. So furthermore, on slide 6, benefits of environmental education. We have the positive impacts. Of course, provided environmental awareness, reduced environmental degradation at a good percentage. Yes, at a good percentage. Now our communities have planted trees. They have some. Some are even with the help of NEMA. But just a few days back on the news, they have started evicting people from swamps. We have better waste management practices on both in restaurants and in towns. We have put garbage collecting centers, where where we are also creating a system of recycling, reusing the garbage into manure, and then of course other things like compost, like biogas. And then sustainable, of course, environmental education has also created sustainable use of natural resources, stronger environmental stewardship among youths. And then community engagements, slide 7. Madam Kiki, slide 7. Yes, environmental. Yes, environmental education empowers communities to protect, to participate in conservation efforts, to protect wetlands and forests. These are efforts that communities can engage in, and one of them is participating in conservation efforts. For example, our initiative, we welcome all sorts of people to come and be part of the initiative, so that we can spread the gospel far and wide. Protect wetlands and forests, adopt eco-friendly practices, and then reduce pollution. And then I will skip some few and then go to recommendations, maybe, if yeah. Yes, we have recommendations all way forwards, and then we conclude and maybe welcome questions, just in case we have any. So way forwards, we have we have so many here, but I will just point out a few of them, and then we shall share. Maybe Kiki is recording, we shall share a recording, and maybe the notes, just in case if you want to go through and read more. So one of them was encourage stakeholder participation in environmental conservation. I remember when we were just got in connected with Earth Care, sorry, with Embrace the Earth. One of the things, one of the points they advised us to do was to engage more organizations into more organizations, to engage with more organizations, so that we can get connected, and of course bring in more help, and of course bring more stakeholders on board, like the local governments, which I think which we are doing, and bringing good results. Number 2 was increase population awareness campaigns, sorry, public awareness campaigns. This one can also bring better results, and with the public being aware of the effects, the importance of having a good environment, a good and conducive environment. I know results come automatically, and then I will share this one as the last. Then the other two we shall. Then bringing youth, support youth-led environmental initiatives. In Uganda, we have youths as the biggest percentage on the population, as per the census of 2024-2025. It shows that the youths are the biggest population. They contribute the biggest percentage on the population of Uganda. So if we bring them on board, they have so much that they can contribute to the cause. And of course, being youths, they have energy. They have the energy. They have the power, and they can as well have the resources to making sure that nursery beds are operating fully. Campaigns are being done in communities. Um, Schools are being entered with a good environmental practices, and of course, better farming practices can be taught to them, being the next generation, being the next farmer, being the next president. We can we if we bring them on board and support them properly, I believe that uh, I believe that and our environment will see tremendous change in a short time possible, in the shortest time possible. And then I concluded and said, environmental education remains a powerful tool for achieving sustainable development and environmental sustainability. By equipping people with the knowledge, skills, and positive values, we can build environmentally conscious communities and create a healthier planet and present the future generations. So, with these few remarks, I beg to end here, but I will still urge us to bring out to add the efforts onto bringing up a new generation, because our generation is now the older generation now phasing out, but now the young people that are coming up, if we feed them with the right information, I believe we can see a tremendous change. We can see an impact. We can see the impact showing in a few years' time. Yes, I think this is the end of my presentation, and I beg to welcome any questions, since we have anyone with a question.
Yes, thank you so much, Regan. That's yeah, it's very interesting. I think it really brings home how important environmental education is. It really plays such a huge role in like shaping a better future. And I think especially in a place like Uganda, which I think is either the youngest population in the world or the second youngest. Yeah, I think that is even more important that they are also included in that. Does anyone in the audience have any questions? I have a question or two, but I want to give some space to any audience members who may have something. Yes, Sophie?
Um, I know that education is very important. It's an important base for environment. And I see that you have a school educations to educate the children at school. I'm just wondering if you have projects for families, like for parents to participate, because family education is also very important part. And I wonder if you have that in your consideration.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, we have so many projects that are involved that involve the community. We don't have a project specifically for a family, but we tackle it at a community level, where we go into a community with and then teach them, mobilize them, teach them on practices that are environmental friendly. For example, we have the project that deals with backyard gardens, where we encourage every family to at least have a backyard garden that can provide natural food. For example, the fast growing vegetables, the greens, and then we encourage them to plant at least 2 to 3 fruit trees in every compound, and and but we don't do it at a family basis. We do it at a community basis, a bigger perspective. So we come into a community and teach them, and then we employ the local council to do follow-ups, and then we come and implement with the local gardens. If we are to intervene at a family setting, we intervene with the local gardens, organizing for them a local garden. So we understand most of them don't have the skills to do a small garden, but for us we have agronomists that can turn your small space into a productive small backyard garden. So we to answer your question properly, we don't have a specific project that deals with a family, but we come to a community as a whole, a village. For us, we call them villages. So we come into a village and then organize, for example, at a local council, one chairperson's home, and then we do a model farm, teach them from the local council's place, and then the knowledge they pick from there, they go and apply in their home area, in their home states. Yes, I don't know if I've answered properly. Or...
Yeah, I think so, but Sophie, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I just think because here in Belgium they have the parents association, and they have designed programs for families, and I think it's important for parents to be part of it as well, because children spend a lot of time with their family. So this is a little piece.
So you're saying. So you're saying we should have a parent stock on what they teach the children in particular.
Not specifically because I understand some parents might not have the energy for that. But if you said some environmental educations are carried out in school, then like some activities could be specifically designed. Just a little activity could be designed for parents to involve. For example, you give some instructions so the parents can teach the kids how to do it, how to grow a tree or how to grow a particular kind of a vegetable.
Okay, then I think we shall put that into consideration to make to increase on our monitoring and evaluation process. That even when it is time for holidays and children are back home, they still have something that can keep them going, that can remind them about how conscious they are supposed to be when it comes to environmental issues. Thank you, Madam Sophie, for the wisdom.
Thank you. There's actually, Penelope, I see you have a question, but I would like to address a question in the chat first, if that's okay, because it's a little related to this question. So I thought maybe you can just elaborate a little bit on that. This is a question in the chat from Nomasiko, who's in South Africa, and the comment is, there's also a good opportunity to include women in the environmental stewardship movement. Women are often left out, yet feel the impacts of climate change disproportionately. Are you seeing girls becoming interested in your initiative in South Africa? Knowledge of climate change is low, even lower in women. Is that something that you can address?
Yeah. It is a good one. We have quite a good number of for us our country is kind of different. They allow female engagement in almost everything, and actually they advise women to participate in almost everything. Even in our organization, we have in our staff, most of our staff are actually female, And for us, we don't package information for men and leave out the female. For us, we package the information for the whole community, and we even encourage women. We even encourage women to actually manage the backyard gardens. Yes, because most of them are always at home. They spend most of the time with the children. So we encourage them to learn more and influence the children more. So in our setting, we are okay with women engagements, and even the government gives us the mandate to actually bring them on board and make sure they participate. So for us, we are very okay. We don't package for information for men and women. We package it for all gender. It is a both gender thing.
Okay, thank you so much.
I don't know.
That's answer your question?
Yes, it does. Just one consideration about the involvement of women. We know that women are engaged in their activities in the home. They have other responsibilities, fetching water, taking care of children and the elderly. So when we engage with women, we need to build our activities around their time to make sure they have the availability to attend, because they can miss out not because
Kiki, have you got her concern properly? Her voice is a bit low. My gadget
Yeah,
cannot.
sorry. It is a little bit low, so I don't know if you
Maybe
can
maybe
like
she can
turn
text.
on your mic, otherwise I can like relay the question. I think it was, to summarize, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, but it is that women tend to have a lot of other responsibilities around the house that they can't just drop and have less flexibility, like childcare, caring for the elderly. So, do you address that specifically? Because if you have a sort of blanket approach that works for everyone, that doesn't always tend to work that well for women, actually, because they have such, yeah, different responsibilities.
Okay, so she's advising that we should get a specific package for the women.
I think it's more a question of, is this being addressed, or are you considering these types of yeah, restrictions in people's schedules and lives as well? Or I guess otherwise, yeah, it is something to consider here as well.
Yeah, like what's your take on this?
Okay, so me, I believe, of course, they have different responsibilities. But being the people that spend most of the time at home, it is still it is wisdom to get them their own package. But it is still it means we have to create another system that deals with them specifically, which is a bit it stretches us, being limited, being few in number. And it will stretch us so much. So for us, we are trying to reduce the cost and make the message reach. But it is something that we can do still, just that we are still short of so many things. That is to say, the financial bit is still disturbs us a bit. And then because the number cannot be the problem if financially we are okay. But yeah, I think it is something that we can do with good finance. I don't know if I'm answering that properly, or
Yeah, I think from what I
big
see in the
to.
chats, like it's completely understand the resource constraints, and it was mostly a suggestion for inclusive scheduling for women as well. So I think that probably addressed it properly. Yeah, I think we still have time for another question. I know Penelope had a question. Maybe we can move on to that one.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you, Reagan. That was very interesting, and it's wonderful to hear how rich and varied your programs are. Just very quickly following on from this discussion about accessing women and training and so on. This is actually quite a significant area where a lot of programming.
Pardon me?
This is quite a significant area with regards to Nomasiko's comment. It's actually quite a significant area where a lot of development programs fall flat and don't reach all the intended beneficiaries and recipients because they don't take into account the different lives and, as Kiki said, scheduling and demands of women. So even though the invitation is sent out for women for training, capacity building and all these kinds of things, a lot of women don't actually attend them because they have restraints either on the land or on the gardens or on the with their children, family raising, caring for elders. So that is actually a kind of significant point in programming that you see. That is something to consider. And I think it's I think it's a very, very well raised important point. To try to catch the women in your cohort, and even just ask when they are free. So it might be an evening scheduling, or it might be a morning or a lunchtime scheduling when the children are at school, for example, and they have more time. But anyway, I had a different question. You were talking a lot about, mango trees and at the very beginning of your talk and the importance of those and having a holistic approach. Are you very involved with agroforestry or developing or setting up agroforestry projects and programs?
Yeah, we actually, the Earthcare initiative came into existence as a result of our origin is derived from one nursery bed that I and one of my friends were operating somewhere, and we came up with an idea of teaching people the need to plant trees in local indigenous trees, I meant. And then with the time it grew, and we felt like it is bigger than a nursery bed. So we decided to brand it and call it Nachosiwa in the first place. But then, with guidance from people, which is so important and we love so much, we decided to rebrand it again and call it Earthcare. So we are so much rooted into agroforestry, and most in all our activities we involve active tree planting, and we encourage protection, conservation, and we protect, conserve, and what is I'm forgetting the third one, but we are so much into protection and conservation of natural forests, and of both natural forests and artificial forests. So, to answer your question properly, we are so much into agroforestry, because it is we believe that with trees we have reliable rainfall, we have a conducive environment, we have good oxygen, filtered oxygen, regardless leaving other factors constant. with green, there is life. Without green, there is limited or rather no life. So agroforestry is our base, is our core, is our these are our roots.
Yeah, because with agroforestry, it's more about bringing food crops into the forest and having various stages, types of crops and plants. So beans, for example, lentils, coffee beans. Then you could have banana trees, then fruit trees, mango trees, and so on. And they all grow at different stages, and so they benefit. Some benefit from the extra shade that is given by the bigger trees. Some benefit by giving more nitrogen to the soil, so they enrich the soil as legumes, peas, and beans do, for example. And the result is that you have much richer soils, but also you have food which has a much greater complement of vitamins and minerals, micronutrients, which means that your community will have better nutrition. And
True.
this is a very big outcome of working with agroforestry, that people who work in them actually have much lower numbers of stunting and wasting and undernutrition. So it has very clear health benefits. So agroforestry is important for the environment, but also it's very important for human benefits and health outcomes. So that could be something to explore with your colleagues, because then all the children who are working in this would, of course, have something to take home. They would have nutritious food. If it's mangoes, bananas, peanuts, beans, and so on. So this could be, and this would give them even more investment, and their parents, importantly. And their parent would be very easy to bring in parents and to reason with them that, if they can support this with their children, then actually there are real benefits for it. It's just an idea, but it's agroforestry is very, very, very much known. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
You can hear me now? Yeah, can you hear me now? I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a small delay. So yeah.
So anyway, so that was my comment, really. But that would require access to property rights, land tenure. So that would be another question for you to think about and discuss, whether you have access to the land and the forests, if you have the legal right for ownership or use for that land, so that you can develop it in agroforestry, for example. So it would be a two-step process.
Yes.
Multi-step.
Pardon the question. Pardon for me the question, the main question.
So no, it's just a comment that developing something like agroforestry could have real benefits for health benefits, nutritional benefits for your community. Okay. But in order to do that, you may have to look into tenure land rights, so that you would have the right to engage in that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the comment. We are also looking at one of my friends advised and told us to acquire some land is owned individually. So you have land I want and own it as a person or as a group or as either way. So one of our mentors advised a model farm where we intend to plant where we intend to put an orchard, and then we do a biogas training facility where people can come and learn how to do biogas, and then maybe implement at their home places. And we also want to put up a nursery bed still to train more youths on how to operate a nursery bed, on how to financially get out of the nursery bed. So it is something that we are looking at in a few years from now. I think by 2028, 2027, we shall be in position to have that in place. So that is what I had to say. Kiki, do we still have more time?
I was actually about to say thank you so much. We actually went over a little bit, so I think unless there's a really urgent question from anyone in the audience, I think we can end it here. And of course, if anyone has any questions later, you can reach out to Embrace the Earth, and we are happy to put you in touch. But yes, thank you so much. We have one more webinar coming up, which I think has been moved to 4:30, if I'm not mistaken, Central European Summer Time. So hope to see some of you there. And otherwise, we have 2 more presentations tomorrow as well. So any information you can find on our website. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Reagan.
Thank you so much. Nice time.
Thank you. Bye.